Daf Samach Vav Amud Beis will begin Daf Samach Vav Amud Aleph, the very last line. Omar Mar. We learned previously in the Ma'ase of Hillel that Erev Pesach was on Shabbos. The question was, how can they bring their knives to do the shlit of the Korban Pesach? And it says that they brought it by sticking it either through the wool or the horns of the animal. The animals carried it and brought the knives, so they didn't carry the knives. The animals brought the knives, and that's how they brought it. And they had it in the Azorah to shech the Korban Pesach. The next day, the one whose Korban Pesach was a sheep, he stuck the knife in its wool. Gedi, if his Korban Pesach was a goat, it doesn't have a lot of wool. He sticks it between the horns, and the animal brings the korban. How can he let the animal carry it, transport it? The Torah says, you can't have the Bechor Kachim do Avodah, and therefore we learn out for all Kachim. They can't do an Avodah, so how can they transport it for you? The Gemara answers, Kehilel. They did the procedure like Hillel. The son Yomar al Hillel, they said on Hillel, Meyomav Leimol Oravoy Losa. No one ever was moil on his korban oil. No one was ever moil on it. How is that? How is that no one ever was over mila that used it for their personal benefit? Because elamevia chulna azor. What Hillel used to do is he wasn't makdish it until he was ready to be makdish. So he brought it chulna azora, and then a makdisha was semach yaro lev v'shaychta, and then he right away he was makdish it. And he did smicha, he leaned on it, did the mitzvah smicha, and shechted. So there's no opportunity for somebody to over me'ilah, because it wasn't kodesh until right before the time that it was shechted. So here also, they did this in a similar manner. The Ran says that he holds that the Isra of Chulin Azora is not only shechting Chulin in the Azora, it's even bringing the animal into the Azora. So the Shitos and the Shitos others who hold that the Isra applies even by bringing it into the Azora, it means over here that not mamish into Azora, but right before it was in the Azora. It was chulin up until the point where they're about to bring it into the Azora, and then he was makdish it. Frek the Gemara Pesach b'Shabbos hechi motzi makdish lo. How can you be makdish it? You can't be makdish korbanos on Shabbos. So how can you be makdish in our case the Korban Pesach? We learned Tanan ein makdishin ve'ein marichin ve'ein machrimim. You're not allowed to be makdish or to make an erech vow or machrim cherem. All these things are in the category, it's also on Shabbos because in the category of masa mata. It looks like business, which might lead to writing. So it's also to do it on Shabbos. Ein might be in trumas and meisers, and you're not mafish trumas and meisers, and because it also is like misakin over here, it's an isra d'Rabbanan because you're being misakin. Kol el b'yontav amru kal v'chaymer b'Shabbos. This is mentioned on Yontav, kal v'chaymer on Shabbos. So how can we say over here that they were makdish the Korban Pesach on Shabbos? More answers. Hani milu v'chayv shein kavulam zman. This is, there's only a korban that doesn't have a fixed time. It doesn't have a set time. Aval b'chayv shekavulam zman makdishim. But if it has a fixed time, you could. And over here, we're talking, it has a set time. We're talking about the Korban Pesach. And Korban Pesach has to be done on Yudal B'Nisan. The Omer of Yechanan Makdish Adam Es Pesach B'Shabbos Chagig also b'Yontav. It says that the Korban Pesach on Shabbos and Chagig on Yontav, they have the fixed times, a set time. You could be Makdish. The Gemara V'Aloi Mechamer. Well, you have a Shabbos stick in his. The animal is transporting the knives, and there's an Isser to do work with your animal. So it's mechamer. It's one of the isurim of that you can't do any malacha, not you and your animals. So therefore, how can you have the animal doing work over here for you? More answers mechamer kalach hayad. It's mechamer kalach hayad. This is not an isur deraisa because there is an isur deraisa mechamer, but that's only in the normal way. Now over here, as Rashi explains, it's not normal, it's not common for sheep and goats to transport. They're not beasts of burden. It's not like a donkey or a camel. That's a normal way they transport things. Sheep, goats don't normally do that. So therefore it's considered kalach riyad, and it's not an isur deraisa, it's a rabbanan. Frag the Gemara, Machamer Kalach Hayad Nami, and he discerned the Raisalak, he discerned the Midrabana Meika. But upon him, the Gemara asked, they're still in this, the Rabbanon, so how can they have the animals carry the knives? The Gemara says, that was the Shaila, that was the Masu Matan over here. That was the Shaila, Davar Sheyesh Lehet Minatar, something which Minatar is Mut. Udavar Shus Oimet Lafonov. So, but there's an Isra Rabbanan that's before it. So, Dvar Shus Oimet Lafonov La'akra Kalachar Yad B'makam Mitzvah. Can you be Aikra Kalachar Yad in the case of a mitzvah? Like this case over here. The animal's transporting the knife. It's Kalachar Yad. So it's a Darabanan, but it's B'makam Mitzvah. Is it mutter or not? Omer Lahem, he said, Halachazu Shamati V'Shachachti. So that was the mice of Hillel and the Bnei B'Seira. So Hillel said, I heard this halacha, but I forgot it. Elohanicha Lam Yisrael. He said, leave it up to the Yidden. Imei Neviim Heim B'nei Neviim Heim. If they're not Neviim, they're B'nei Neviim, and they will instinctively know what to do. Omar Yehuda Marav. Kol Amisyar, person who shows any kind of gaiva, Im Chachmu Chachmos Mistalakas Merim. If his Talmud Chacham is the Chachma, will desert him, will depart from him. Im Navi, even if Wasam is Talaikas Mimenu, and if he's a Navi, his Nevuah will depart from him. This is Maisa. We bring this down because in this Maisa that Hillel, he showed, he gave Musar to the Ben B'Seira. Perhaps there was Kivyochal, Mashu of Messiah, so, and he therefore forgot the halacha in this case. So we're saying in general terms, this is what happens. Im chacham hu chachmas mistaleks min Hillel, like this mice we just saw from Hillel. Damar mar hischal mekantrim b'devorim. He started to give them musar v'kamerlu halachazu shemati v'shachachti. So therefore we see it from a chacham that he forgets his learning. Im navi hu nevasam mistalekas min devorim. If it's a navi, if they're messiah, then the nevuah departs from. We see that from devorim. Dirshu hadlu frozen Yisrael chadelu achekamti dvora shekamti im Yisrael. So it says that Dora is saying that they stopped living in open cities. It's hadlu frozen. They stopped living in open cities because of the fear of the enemies until Dvora came and im Yisrael and came to their defense. So there's an element kivyochol of misyar uksiv, and it says right after uri dvora uri dabri shir. It says awaken dvora. You have to awake, meaning the nevuah deserted her. The nevuah departed from her. So you have to awaken to continue to say to her nevuah. So you see that from misyar nevuah departs. Reish Lakish Omer kol adam shekayis. Anyone who gets angry, if he's a chacham, he chacham deserts him. Im naviu nevuasa mistalekes mimenu. So navi the nevuah is mistalekes. Im chachamu chachmasa mistalekes mimenu. Where do we see that? Moshe. We see it from Moshe Rabbeinu. D'chsiv vayiksef Moshe al pekudei achayil. Moshe Rabbeinu became angry al pekudei achayil. He said, "Did you let these people live? Did you let the Midianist woman live? The takola, the chet, came through them." So he got angry at them. And uksiv, and it says afterwards, Vayomer Elazar kain alan she'al tzava boim lemilchama zois chukas atayishatzi v'shemes Moshe. This next mitzvah was given through Elazar. It wasn't given through Moshe. The halacha of the Geulei Kalim, of kashering the Kalim, it was given through Elazar. Why was it given through Elazar, not Moshe Rabbeinu? Miklal da Moshe Alaminei. So you see from here that he forgot. It was departed. His chachma deserted him because of the kasma. Marshal says there's other cases as well, but this is a very blatant, often a case where we see this. Im navi hu nevasa mistalekes mimenu. Where do we see that? Me Elisha. We see it from Elisha. D'chsiv. We see that Elisha got angry because it says Lulei pnei Yoshavet melech Yuda ani noise im abir elecha v'imar. Elisha was very angry. He was very angry. It was time when Yehoshaphat and Yehoram were traveling and to fight against Moab, and they traveled with Edom. And he got very angry at Yehoram because he was a Russian. He said, if not for the fact that Yehoshaphat Melech Yehuda was here, I would not even deal with you. So I wouldn't even look at you. So he got angry, Uksiv, and we see, what do we see as Nevuah departed? Uksiv, Atkuli Menagin, Vayakanagin Menagin, V'ti Allah, V'yar Hashem. So in order for him to have his Nevuah, he had to have a musician play for him to then put him in that elevated state of mind to get Nevuah, because it deserved him because of his anger. Oma Rabbi Mani Bar Patish Kol Shekoyes, anyone who gets angry, I feel a Paiskim Alav Gedul Min Shamayim, even if they were a geyser that he should have Gedul, and should have greatness. Min Shamayim, that they had a geyser that he should have greatness. Maridu Noisa, they lower him down. Minala and Me'eliyav. We see this from the Maisa of Eliyav. Shenemar Veichar Af Eliyav Bedovid. So it says, Eliyav, Dovid's brother, got angry at him. Why did you, he said, why did you come down over here? His brother, Eliyav, got angry, very angry at Dovid. He said, why did you come down and you left the sheep unattended? I know that you did it, and just you came to observe the war, the milchama, and you were irresponsible, and you left the sheep, and you came and to see the milchama. So he got angry. And when Shmuel came down to be Meshech, the new king, and he went through the sons of Yishai, he went down the list from the oldest to the youngest till he got to Dovid Amel. He went from the oldest to the youngest, he came down the list, so he went one by one, and Bakuluksiv, it says, Loi B'Sebach Hashem. On all of the sons, it says, Hashem didn't choose this one. But Eliyav, when it got to Eliyav, it writes about it, Vayam Hashem al Shmuel, Al Tamid al Mareya, Val Gvoya Kamasa Kimastiu. He said, don't look at his appearance, his height, for I am disgusted with him. So what does that show? We learn from here that it was at this point that he became disgusted with him. Previously, he showed kindness to him. Previously, it was rachimli. But now, because of this fact, because of his anger, that he showed anger, now he became disgusted with him. So, coming back to the Pesach, that we bring the Korban Pesach, we're marking the Korban Pesach on Shabbos, is Deicha Shabbos, Ashkichan, Talmud Pesach, the Deicha Shabbos. We find that the Korban Talmud and the Korban Pesach are Deicha Shabbos. That we see that even if it's on Shabbos, we're marking the Korban Pesach, V'yudalid Nisan on Shabbos, you're marking the Korban Pesach, Talmud, you're Talmud on Shabbos, you're marking on Shabbos. How do we know that it also is Deicha Tuma, that if the Tzibur is Tomei, or the Kohanim are Tomei, that how do we know that it's Deicha, that you bring the Korban nevertheless? Amri, we said, Ki Heichen the Yola Pesach Mitavil in Shabbos. Just like we learn out the Korban Pesach from Talmud, as far as Shabbos is concerned, that the Talmud is Deicha Shabbos, and we learn out Gzer Shava, that the Pesach is also Deicha Shabbos. We have Gzer Shava, Achanami Yalav Talmud Mi Pesach Linyan Tumah. So we learn out Talmud from Pesach, we learn out Gzer Shava the other way, and we learn out Talmud from Pesach as far as Tumah goes. More Pesach Guf and all. Well, how do we know Pesach itself? That if the tzibur is tomei, that you bring the Korban Pesach. Amar Rav Yechanan, he says, Damar Kro Ish Ish Ki Tomei Lo Nefesh. Any person who's tomei. So it says Ish. It says Ish Ish, meaning a yachid. So it says in the context of the pasuk over there, if a person is tomei, then he does Pesach Sheni. He can't do Pesach Rishon. He's Nitchal Pesach Sheni. Ish Nitchal Pesach Sheni, you mean to say that Davka al Yochid, an individual, is pushed to Pesach Sheni. Vein Tzibur Nidachal Pesach Sheni Elav de Betuma. But not a Tzibur. A Tzibur does a Betuma. Amalei Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish Rabbi Yechanan. What's your limit from here? Ema Ish Nitchal Pesach Sheni. Maybe Davka Pesach Sheni Ish is Nidcha, but Tzibur Laslu Takanta Loy Pesach Rishon Loy Pesach Sheni. That maybe but the tzibur has no eitzah. They can't do a betuma, not rishon, not sheni. What's your raya that, yes, it's true, I agree with you, that the Ish tells you that Pesach Sheni is only a Yachin, that Tzibur doesn't do Pesach Sheni, but what's your raya that therefore the Tzibur does Pesach Rishon Betuma? Maybe the Tzibur has no Eitzah, maybe there's no Eitzah whatsoever, and therefore they can't do a Betuma. So Reish Lakish, we'll see in the next moment, brings another limud.